Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am truly zonked, and how much time do we have before it's too late to start building our domed cities? Is it already? I don't know. Whatever, anyways. So, welcome back to my channel and my playthrough of Satisfactory. If you watched the previous episodes, it was a two-parter, and I produced... what did I produce? I didn't produce anything. I designed. We made a three-segmented blueprint for producing silica for an aluminum factory, and today we're going to continue that. I do want to show you something really quickly that I've been working on for a little while. It's definitely not complete. It's not a building per se. It's more like a system of something. So hold on one second. Let me get over to somewhere where I can do a little random building here. It'll be all temporary stuff. We'll just delete right away. But hold on. Okay, this is a good spot to demo this. And let's see. I will need to. Oops. Turn off photo mode. Thank you. There. All right, and I do need to drop a foundation just for the sake of a starting point. I'll even elevate this a notch. It's not really crucial right now, but basically this has been in preparation. It's actually, I've been working on this for a long time, you know, in fits and starts, and actually I thought it was broken for a while due to a game change, but no, it was me. Anyways, so I mentioned that I want to do a combination of rail and truck infrastructure in the game at a point, and I've been working on some roads, a road system, and let me start with the core piece of this. Oh, farts. Which one did I make it? I really got to rename these. No, that wasn't it. Bean, you're in the way. You must go. Bean, don't make me pop you. That's still not quite it. Farts, what? I know I've got this. Hold on, I can do this. Alright, sorry folks. Bean! Alright, let's see. So, yeah, part of how why I've been still tinkering on this is how to actually get this to deploy the way that I want. Let's see, let me just make a little concrete, and I don't know why I'm bothering this hard. This is all temporary. So, here's the idea. So, I'll build my starting support structure just so I'm kind of sort of locked into, at least vertically speaking, the world grid. Let me get that part out again, if I can remember which one it was. Here we are. All right, and let me just click that down here. And so what we've got is a piece of a road, one little segment, and I got this funny little protuberance going on over here. And you're a funny little fella. And what this does, and you know, the blueprint system really needs snap points. Somebody mentioned that in a Reddit article, and oh my god, truth, you know. So what this is this gives me the ability to, let me see, did I make did I start? No, I was trying something. This is different. Alright, never mind. Alright, not gonna sweat it. Let me... Actually, I am gonna do something. Sorry, folks. I'm, not planning well this morning. Hold on. Alright, sorry, folks. It actually has been quite a while since I've, tinkered with these, and had to sort myself out a little bit. Alright, so, yes, the road segment. So, what I start off with, and this is taking advantage of a nuance of the build system, which may change later on, in which if it does, it will render this all functionless. But basically what it is what we're doing is, if we look laterally, maybe if I pull this up in a blueprinter, it'll display easier. But if we look laterally at it, basically the design is split lengthwise in half. The back half contains the actual road segment, and the front half contains this multi-connector. The idea here is, how to describe this? I know what I figured out. I'm just having trouble trying to figure out how to articulate it. Depending on how you're snapping your blueprints together, they want to place the center of the blueprint you're trying to place onto a solid existing point. And it's that center point that makes this work. But the difference here that I'm doing is that I'm not going to click the next road segment to the top of the connector here, but to the forward-facing flats facing us here, right? Of these little bars here. Let me show you. So what I'm saying, for now I want to make it just go straight, right? So I'm going to point this at the frontmost flat of that beam, not the top of the beam, but the forward edge. And I just snap that in place, and I've got a nice, pretty, neat, straight road, right? And let's see if we do this a couple more times. Very nice indeed, right? A little simplistic, a little basic. There is something of an aesthetic going on here. Part of it's actually accidental. The connector system that I created actually comes up with a neat design down at the bottom. But what we can also do with this is I built in. I found a great video. I'm drawing a blank on the person's name. I apologize, and I'm going to do my best. I know I actually got to fix some video update links and descriptions of previous videos, and I'll try my best to get this one too. But basically, he showed an excellent system and method, that is, for creating curved roads, and I'll detail that at another time. But basically what it gave me this idea, and we can start creating roads that go in 5 and 10 degree turns. So this multi-connector lets me, so instead of going to the front, I'm going to go this one here, and this is 5 degrees, right? So if I do this a few times, we're only getting so far here. Actually, I'm going to stop at that point. I'll go on to the next thing in a moment. But you can see we start building our curved road. And I can do that in 5 degrees, either to the left or the right, or 10 degrees to the left or the right. Further than that, and that's not great. It really isn't. What I also have, though, using the same connector system, is I have slopes. So if I snap this guy here, is it this one? Wait, where is it? I'm losing it. Oh, I think the terrain is interfering. Let me see. Did that snap in correctly? It did. All right. And so now continuing this. And now the terrain is absolutely... I did not elevate this high enough. Can I get this up one? And start climbing? Is that working? Maybe? No, it didn't work that time. I didn't place it right. I'm built too close to the ground. I should have started my incline. In fact, hold on. Let me do this now. 1 second. Let's start that part over. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to switch over to area actions, and let me do a mass erase of this thing. Or mass dismantle, I should say. Alright, let me put my foundations down again. Gonna elevate this a little higher this time. And we'll take a foundation here, he said, just to create a little rotation to start with. That is fine. Now let's switch back to my little road segments. Let's get him placed as a starter. Let's go forward a few and curve it a few. I'll switch to my 1 meter incline roads. And we'll start bending and going up. And let's see, how's this facing now? That is much better. And let's maybe straighten this climb out. And maybe even curve back inward a little bit. Alright, and it's not, the curves are not perfect. I mean, there's no avoiding this to, you know, after a certain point. But wait, there's more. Hold on. I've got a 2-meter incline that will also go 5 or 10 degrees up, left or right. Let's try and burn this back in. Can I reel this road back in? Can I make this work? All right, you know, so I'm clipping it. I don't want to accidentally mass erase that power pole. So, anyways, you get the idea. This will be just fine for trucks. I'm also working on a system that is double the width. That will be a great, like, main highway, so trucks can go back and forward along the same road. The hitch I'm running into now is this only goes up. The system doesn't work going down. Actually, I think I have found something that may help that. I'm still experimenting. We'll talk about that later time. Anyways, I just wanted to show you this quickly. I am working on a road system so that we can make some nice, presentable roads. And I just wish the lines would paint on all the different ones, the inclines. It doesn't just... It's the building system, the blueprinting is quirky about what items it'll save the painting on, or the decals, and what items it won't. But, in any case, alright, we're going to bend in this here. I'll erase that another time. Let's get over to our blueprinters and continue our aluminum factory build. Okay, so, we already spent quite a bit amount of time. Like I said, though, we did a 3-segment plan that would be half of a pod to manufacture silica for aluminum, and we're going to continue with the designs for the aluminum plant, and I don't think they're going to take quite as long as that one. That one was a bit of a beast. That really was. It's probably the largest, not single plan set, but single pod. One group of machines dedicated to making one specific item. That's how I refer to a pod. So anyways, let's pop over to the spreadsheet quickly. Okay, so this is our spreadsheet for Alumtown, my cheesy nickname for the aluminum producing plant. It's in a town status because it's going to be fairly big. I've had villes, I've had hamlets, I've had, well, I guess the North Sea is now a city. Anyways, so this is what we did before, and that was to make 192 machines that would produce 4,680 silica that will get used. I did this one first because this one was the bear. As far as I could tell right now, this was the largest single, most troublesome segment of that factory here. So we're going to actually go to the beginning of our recipe chain now, and we're going to go up to alumina solution. So we're going to be bringing in 3,120 bauxite ore, 4 pure nodes worth Mark V belts of bauxite, and we're going to just take that and leverage recipes. And I already went over, you know, how I decided on which recipes, but yeah, and we're not doing that much leveraging really. I suppose the only real leveraging I'm doing is with the sloppy alumina, but it's okay. It's fine for me. It's still going to be plenty of aluminum, and just fun. Anyways, and this is going to produce 3,744 cubic meters of alumina solution. All right, so this is a perfectly manageable pod. Let's get this cracking. Okay. And so I'm not going to go over absolutely every single detail. I like to try to cover things once and try to not harp on it at length moving forward. So just going to set up a little outer boundaries here. Let me get my glass floors in place. Alright, so 16. This is probably going to go to 2 segments. Let me get some my framework in place. I'm only going to do a 1 tile wide alley on this one. It's funny because you would think all my factories come out identical doing it this way. And actually, if you look closely at my builds, even the very, very similar builds, none of them are really built absolutely identically. So we'll talk more about the alleys in a moment. Okay, so here's our basic platform structure starting off for what will eventually be 2 rows of 8 refineries each. All right, so speaking of which, let's get them plunked down, at least see how many we can fit onto this. Get these nice lined up against the edge here, nice and centered forward and backward across the platform. And just sending this down. How many fit? Oh man, I got just right. Yes, nice. It happens once in a while. Okay, so here are 16 refineries. And it doesn't really leave enough room to build my end borders, but I'm totally fine with doing that manually at the end. I mean, if I really needed to, I mean, fine. Here, let's do this. I mean, I could just save that as a plan and save myself the work. Doesn't matter either way to me. That's not that big a thing to worry about saving as a blueprint, but let me just take these out. Okay, so now let me double check the spreadsheet for my clock speeds. All right, so we have 16 of them for a nice tidy 97.5 clock speed. All right, so let's get 1 set, and we're doing slappy alumina. And 97.5. Kiss FM. Alrighty, we're going to copy that. We're going to paste this a dozen times. Oh, you know something? Oh, hold. Let's see. I'm going to try something. I really haven't tried this before, but let's see what I get. Let me set some boundaries here with area actions. I want to try the mass recipe set function. I don't know how. Of course, it's got to autosave. Okay, and let's see. Set recipe. What is this doing? Oh, seriously? This is all the recipes? It's gonna send me. Alright, so we're sloppy. Let's search sloppy alumina. Okay, so alright, it applied the recipe, but it didn't give me an opportunity to select a clock speed. So, yeah, for my needs, I mean, if you're doing, you know, where everything's 100% except the last machine to make up the extra percentage of whatever your needs are, that's probably fine. But for me, because I distribute my clock speeds evenly across all the machines in the pod, it doesn't work well for me. Anyways, so let's do this. Let me get these pasted out. Okay, everybody, sloppy alumina 95 or 97.5. That is good. All right. Let me paint these quickly. Oh, what did I decide for a swatch for that? Oh, no, that's the limestone. Okay, so we're going to edit swatch. I'm going to load up a light gray that I use to indicate aluminum stuff. I'll select. Let's do a save color. Now, the more swatches I've created, the quirkier this thing has been getting. Oh, here. Okay, so I had to make 2. This thing gets weird about, after a certain point, creating more swatches, but it just takes a little coaxing, and it works. SPEV, special space elevator, and aluminum 1. I'm going to get these painted. This will be fast. Subtle difference. Right. They were white before. Not that you can really tell. They were white. Now they're a light gray. Anyways, okay. So let me save this before something untoward happens. We're gonna go Alum Sol. We're gonna call it 1 of 1. I'm not going to bother keeping that little scrap of a blueprint for 2 strips of foundation. Yeah, because it's 1 of 1. It's not a front or a back. It's itself. And we put in a full text description. Okay, and I always like to save my game when I've saved a blueprint, so that way I don't lose the blueprint. I've had a weird thing happen to me before. I don't know if this is still an issue, but I'd saved some blueprints, and the game had crashed out. I don't know how long ago this was. This is a long time back. I had created some blueprints, and the game crashed out before I saved. And I figured, oh, well, the blueprints are independent files, so they should still be available. And when I went back in the game, they weren't in the menu. When I went to the file system, they were still there, but they weren't in the menu. So there's some part of the blueprints that is, like, I think of it as a little database of what blueprints you have stored. That's actually part of the main game save, and not necessarily independent like the actual blueprint files themselves are. I haven't revisited that. I haven't worked that all out. That might not even be a thing anymore. I don't know. Anyway, so I just save. Let me do this. Okay, because I hate losing work. Alrighty, so let's get now. So we need our bauxite and water belting. Alright, now, in the previous episode, when I created the alley for the silica pod, I made that 3 wide. I didn't need to. I did that mostly for aesthetics. To just create a nice wider open space for the belting to spread out and be a little more pleasing I have done that style of pod in a 1 wide, and it works, but it's really cramped. Oh, yeah, it's kind of like if you have to get in there for anything to fix anything, navigating is tricky. 2 wide would have probably been acceptable on that one, but I did 3. This one we're going to do 1. And what I'm getting to here is, and I mentioned this briefly when I did the demonstration of the heavy oil residue, is this elevation, does more than just simply clean up the area for walkability, navigability. It gives us an extra degree of a dimension to work in. As far as like arranging, if you're trying to run like multiples of belts or pipes, through a small area. But of course, the narrower you make the alley, the trickier it gets. You're making things bend in tighter angles than they normally would want to. But I figured out a decent enough, tolerable for me, technique approach for refineries using a single wide alley, and it does come at the expense of sacrificing some of the navigability of the center alley, but this is not a place where we're going to have to go frequently, so it's not that big a deal. Anyways, so basically doing the same thing as we did for that demonstration. I'm going to switch to my liquids menu. Let's get a floor mount in place. That is not how that works. A floor mount in place, he said. There we are. And I'm going to just stick one here. And put one about halfway down. I like to find, at least when it comes to refineries, I like to find the point where these guys kind of hit the center of the tiles. It just makes a nice little break segment because it doesn't matter. Let me get one down the end here. And of course, this is one of those items that doesn't like to place at the absolute edge, because now it's like overflowing past the end of the blueprint designer. So we'll move him in one. Boink. All right, let's get some pipes down the line. All right, and let me get my junctions. And again, really quickly, the way I have these facing inwards, of course, my liquid inlets and solid inlets are reversed from each other, facing inwards. And this is one of those things where it all depends on your toleration for things getting uneven. For me, this is just fine, and it definitely took some experimentation to figure out how to get it to do this neatly. And I had tried putting the belt on the lower portion and the pipe above it. The pipes play nicer on the lower level than the belts do. So that's why I move these down here. I absolutely also could have just simply gone up instead of under and maintained that that navigability. It also didn't work out for me well. Not personally. In any case. All right, so continuing. Let's see. Selecting our build. Did I want noodle for this? Noodle is fine. That's not noodle, is it? No, wait, let me make sure I'm set to noodle. I like to see which one I'm using. Okay. Noodle is fine. Whoops, I didn't mean to set that. I wanted to... So that kind of clips a tiny little bit into that edge. Do I care? Oh, that's like right on the edge of my tolerance. Now, the other thing that we had tried, we did this in that demonstration, was using the horizontal to vertical, and I kind of like this. I mean, there's part of me, I like the even flow of the noodle. You know, even with the little bit of clipping, you know, it just like, it looks natural, but this, I don't know. You know, so it really doesn't matter. Both look fine once you've like gotten them all the way drilled down. Let me do it. We're just gonna stick this way. Let me get these placed. All right. Let me slap some paint on those quickly. Oh no, these are water. That's the color they're supposed to be. All right, never mind. All right. So now you would think that I would just simply from here elevate this and slap a belt down and just continue as it is from here. Except that the way that these are elevated, when I originally was doing this before my big rebuild, I would just use a 2-meter foundation. And in those cases, I could just, you know, put a little extra post on there and make the belt at the same level. But the way I'm using these metal frames now, this actually comes up 3 meters instead of 2. So it kind of makes things a little weird, and that's why I make sure, that is a quirk of the, sorry, like you can see what I'm trying to think. I was trying to do the ink dropper on the concrete there, and it wasn't working. And I'll throw this out there for you. So the Area Actions mod has a quirk. If it's equipped, like right now, I'm using the H key to turn it on and off, and when the square goes big, it's equipped, right? Ink drop doesn't work on anything. Doesn't matter. Oh, that it did. Oh, interesting. Really? Can't ink drop that. Can't ink drop that. Can ink drop the pipe. Oops. And the factory, the refinery. Interesting. In either case, it's still not right. But it's neither here nor there. And all right, so that mentioned now, let me get my temporary foundations in place to set some splitters. We will be using smart splitters as before, using an overflow technique. And oh, that's right. Oh, I'm a dork. I can't use these bent this way. These are now obstructing. I did need to do this as noodle. Alrighty, so let me take these out. Get my pipes out. Hey, what are we talking about there?
Phrasing.
Okay, let's get nodular. Alright. Now, let me get my temp foundations out. Get our smart splitters. Our splart smitters. And now from here... Oh, did I do this right? This should be it. I know I've done this before. Yes, yes. Right, and we come out with this like little bow tie, you know, and it's nice and neat. Let me get the rest of these placed. Hold on. Okay, so we got fast belts down the center. Let's get my slow belts down the rest of the lines here to the machines. Alright, let's take out our foundations. And let's get some paint. Did I make a swatch? We will reuse the fuel swatch. I do reuse the same colors for my color coding. They're very context based. So if you see orange in my factories on a pipe, that's fuel. And if you see orange on my factories, a light orange on my belts in my factories, blah, 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 that is bauxite. So let me get these painted. Alright, let's save like this. Actually, wait, before I save, let me program these here. So we're going to go any to the left, any to the left, any to the right. Yeah. Sorry, that was a half-assed Jimmy Buffett reference in there. I am not even a Buffett head, which maybe that's why it came out so badly. I was supposed to be something like Sharks to the left and Sharks to the right. I actually went to a Jimmy Buffett concert once. I had a great experience. Loved the hell, great show. Not a parrot head myself, though. Oops, I deleted something I didn't mean to. Okay, let me delete some of these extra bits. And here's what we will do from here. So, alright, let me put a floor hole here. And so we will bring water up. This we will absolutely do as a horizontal or vertical for the nice L shape. Doesn't matter which one, left or it doesn't matter, okay. And let me put a floor hole for the belt to come up. Let me get a just a temp foundation to set. Okay, here's why I do this way for these. I mean, I could just stick the elevator to pop up out of here and, you know, point to the splitter and just connect it with a belt. The issue with that is because how I like to rotate the lift to turn the lifting portion of it outward to display the item it's carrying. You can only do that if the first click of the lift attaches to the belt and the second click attaches to the hole. If you start from the hole to the belt, you can't rotate the lift. So what I'm saying, I'm going to basically take this here, and there's just a little spot. So you got like this little 1 meter space. Your belt needs to come at, like, I don't know if you can see this line. That's the center line of this tile. is 1 meter distant from the edge of this hole. So that 1 meter space is where you want your belt to end. So I'm going to take a fast belt, bring it out of here, right to the center line, click that. Let me delete this guy out. And we'll take this out. I don't bother normally taking all the individual little single height poles. Most of them are not visible, and I don't bother with them. Any case, so here's our lift. Now, if I came up here and did this, and I try to rotate, it rotates the whole thing around, right? But if I start from the belt, and now, and attach it, now I haven't second clicked yet. Now I can scroll the wheel, and it rotates the lift only, you know, without the whole head. And now I'll second click that, and that's in place. Clear him out. Let's paint him. And the painting of the lifts is weird. It doesn't kind of take right all the time until like we've like gone some distance away and come back. You'll see at some point that'll be displayed more correctly. It's not critical right now though. Okay, so there's our inputs. Now let me double check one more time what our output was again. Oh, I'm a dolt. I'm a freaking dolt. I was so totally forget. You know, under most situations, the way that I just laid things out would have been just fine. But I was forgetting the quantity. I'm forgetting how much I'm bringing in. Yeah, I ran a single fast belt down for the bauxite ore, and I put slow belts on. Oh, booger farts. Let's see something. Hold on. Let me, let's go grab this. So, I pretty much know what I need to do. I'm just making sure that this works out right for my own head's sake. I just got to go through these things sometimes. So, we've got the core, the base recipe of 200 bauxite per minute times the clock speed comes out to an actual usage of 195 bauxite per refinery per minute. And if we take this, which is the leftover number, it doesn't reflect reality. All right, we want this to be how much bauxite we're actually bringing in. Divide that by 4, that's 780. And then this cell is taking 780 and dividing that by the 195, and that gives us 4. So we can have 4 belts. We'll supply 4 machines each. I need to throw some extra belt stuff in. Oh, I got to do it for water too. Oh, God. Actually, that's a good point. So, if I did that to 600... Wait. So, 3120. And if here's our 600, I'm going to take our 3120 and divide by 600. That's 5.2 pipes. Okay, now for the water, I do not sweat being absolutely exact. I don't mind pumping in a little extra water. It's just I just need to make sure I know how many I need to bring in. So 5.2. So we've got 16 machines. How does that divide by 5.2? Equals 16 divided by 5.2. That makes 3 machines each. So what if instead? Okay, we're going to take a 4. I'm just throwing numbers all over the cells. This is not meant to be neat here right now. Hold that. Let me think. 1 second. So I take... Alright, we're going to take our 3120 water. Doesn't really matter here, but... and let's say if I wanted to divide that by 4, what does that come out to? Ooh, that is not acceptable. I can't divide that in 4. 5 doesn't go into 16 nicely. How does 16 divide by 6? How badly does that come out? 2 2/3 machines each. Alright, you know something? For the sake of the design for the moment, I think I'm just gonna break this out into 8 after all, and we'll worry about balancing it underneath the logistics floor once we're out in the field. We'll figure that out. It will work out. It'll be just fine. But let's get these rebuilt and repiped, because I do these things to myself. So we'll still have our little bow ties, but I gotta take out some of these segments. Okay, so we're gonna have 4 belts coming up. Each one will hit 4 machines. Okay, so you're gonna come out. You're gonna come out. Oh, is this going to be enough space? I think we're okay. Yeah, this will be fine. This will be fine. All right, so we'll stick one here. All right, let me repeat this a couple of times. All right, solids, floor holes. Okay. Let me get my liquid floor holes. Connect those. Invalid. Invalid. Why does it work one way and not another? Whatever. It's not even consistent about which way it'll work or not. Okay, so... Alright, now, for these floor holes in this area, down the alley, I'm not going to sweat rotating the... oh my god, I do need to, so that they don't clip so badly. Actually, alright, I'm going to erase these and move them in a notch. Alright. And now for these, I'm not going to worry about rotating them for visibility, because this is not a high visibility area. And unless you're going looking for it, and then, well, who cares? Alright, let me get these connected. Okay, so that's better. Alright. So each one of these will be carrying... Oh, that's better, but it's not done, because how many bauxite per minute? 195 bauxite per minute. So for our slow belt, fast belt technique, I need to be using Mark 3s. Mark 2 is 120 per minute, not fast enough. The Mark 3 is 270, which is more than fast enough, and still serves the purpose of... slowing the intake from the fast belt to smooth out distribution. Alright, more paint. Alright, save that. Okay, and in fact, also, let's just clear this here, because I'm not keeping this. Pick these parts up. Okay, now that I've got that done correctly, and we will totally worry about getting the belts in, depending on which way this lays when we actually get her out to the field. This could go one direction or another. We're not going to go crazy about the logistics underneath yet. Let me get power strung up. I like to do the power... Oops. With the correct keys. What am I doing? Oh my goodness. Alright. I just like to bring these down the sides here. I tried doing these a little more ornately one time, and it was okay. It's just very time consuming. Even in the blueprint, it was very time consuming. I had this kind of like network of beams traveling up and through the upper portions of the refineries. And yeah, it came out neater to have all the nodes and everything up here. It was just, even blueprinting, it was just too much work, and I just didn't care that much about it. These are just fine like this, for me. Right, let me now get some these done underneath here. Where's my light? Give me my light. Right. Now we will get our power grid arrangement in place now. Get these laid out. You know, I am going to drop a set of these in the middle as well. I probably should have done that on the other ones. Again, on the idea that at some point I may want to actually use the hover pack again. And I need enough power nodes distributed. I really would like it if the hover pack would take power from cables instead of only nodes. But it is what it is. Alright, let's get these painted. Get my... sorry, pardon me. My hot green. And I'll paint those. That's the external main grid. The pale green, green for go, is the primary internal circuit, and white will be the secondary internal circuit. Let's get noded up. Alright, let's get these carried on down this side. Again, like I mentioned in the previous episode, I try to keep everything oriented from a back to forwards orientation, heading that way, and along the back edge and the left edge of my blueprints I will string power along, and following that pattern things tend to reconnect very easily and distributes nice and evenly. Anyways, continuing on. Here we go. And let me get one in place to bring this node. Alright, so he's right centered along this line. Let's get this. And he's going to be one step in, one step over. Alright, let's get the power strung. And let's get our power indicators. Again, I just do these so when I have to troubleshoot, which is usually an eventuality, an inevitability, if I ever have to reline anything, which is less often now, I don't have to go tracing a whole line all the way back to its start to recall where the hell it came from. So just color these. And actually, I do need one more. And connect you. Alright. Save that. And save game. Okay. Now, for our final stage for this will be our outbound pipes for the alumina solution. Let me double check the blueprint, or the spreadsheet. So we're going to be outputting 3744, and this is going to get sent to 16 refineries. We could, No, do I? Oh, I just had an idea, but it kind of means throwing out what I just built. Can I adapt it? Do I care? I do like to change up the layouts periodically, just so that everything isn't quite so absolutely, yeah. Yep. We're doing it. Ah, frack. All right, can I... Let's see. Let me think. All right, so the idea that I just had was that because we're going to be going from 16 refineries of sloppy alumina to 16 refineries creating the aluminum scrap, all right. Here's what we do. Okay. All right. We already saved this. We are going to clear this designer. Yep. We're going to take the one we just made, and we're going to repurpose it as a template. We're going to do a little modification. Get this placed back in the designer. Oh, can't afford. That's because I did a race, but I forgot to pick up. And oh my, this is how you lose. This is how you lose stacks of stuff with these designers. If it's still an issue. I haven't retested. I'm not exactly gung-ho about retesting it. But always pick up your stuff after clearing the designer. Never leave it in there. Never trust that it's going to use the materials properly from the chest before going into your inventory. It is totally possible for it to blow out what's in the chest, and then you lose just like a ton of shit. Alright, so I had to pick that up. And actually, I'm going to have to do this twice. I need more stuff. Hold on. So what am I short on? So if I need... It's going to be 32 refiners total. What is it that I need? It's motors. How am I doing on motors? I should be good. Good, right? Nope, maybe not so good. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. Just needed a moment for it to calculate what was in the bins. Okay. I think I turned off the motor flow for the time being. Either that or they're coming in very, 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 very slowly. That's not important right now. All right, let me clear the to-do list because I just don't need it up all the time. Okay, that's that. All right, now. Now watch me be out of something else. Okay, let's place this down. I was going to make a whole joke out of something. Now that's blown. I'll get an opportunity later on. Oh, is it locking? It's locking, isn't it? Oh, no, it's just being funky about placing that. Alright, fine. Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music right. Alrighty, get in line. Yeah, this would be way more difficult to place without fly, let me tell you. Alright. So, you're probably wondering, dude, what are you doing? And, if I'm not asking myself that question 8 times a day, I don't know where the hell I am, you know? Alright, so we're just using this as a template. And actually, all these gotta go. Right, nothing else incorrectly selected. Alright, good, go. And now, all of this has got to go. My nice, neat, wonderful belts. And we'll figure that out. Let's see. Can I still use the Z thing? No, Z doesn't do it. Oh, I do this myself. Let's see. Let's skip these guys. See, now that time I didn't want to ink drop them. Alright, whatever. Replaced in the opposite direction now. See, my recipe should still be in the clipboard, right? It is good. Let me get these guys pasted. Wire them. Oh no, of course that's thrown off the orientation of my wiring underneath. That's alright. I can deal with it. It's important to be flexible in life. Alright. Paint these. Alright, I'm going to just reuse the same color, because now this row is going to be the aluminum scrap, and I'm fine with this color being for both. Alright, let's get our recipes for these set, and I think they're going to be the same clock speed? Yes, 97.5. Alright, hold on. Alright, so set 1 to... Alright, because they were already pre-programmed for sloppy alumina. So we're changing this to the aluminum scrap original. Copy this. Paste, paste, paste. Alright. So what I've done is I basically set this up now where... Oops. What the hell did I just... What did I just hit? Stop that. Oh my god. Alright. Basically just set this so I could just do this down the line. For alumina solution to the alumina scrap. Okay. Because why load balance when it's already 1-to-1? Which is still load balancing when it comes down to it. And let's see. So what I need to do now, however, though, is to rebuild the... Alright. Let me see. How am I going to do this again? So we need 4 machines on a 1 belt each. Or 1 belt to 4 machines each, however you want to state it. Alright, and now that I've changed my orientation on things, I do employ a slightly different technique. If I can try and figure out how I'm going to do this. Let me think. Alright, I think I know. Yep. Alright, so we're going to start with our slow belts, which are the Mark IIIs still. And let me take these. Oh. Nope, I'm thinking of something different. Take those out. Not it. Alright. Okay. Temporary foundations. Okay. And, yes. Okay, right. Alright, so get our smart splitters. We're going to head in this general direction. And I'm not going to center these. I'm going to move them out. Again, I mentioned before, I like to think of these as having lanes. If you're looking at it, again, totally relative on the direction, but this would be the center lane going down the middle of the tile. There's a left lane and a right lane. And I want these from this view to be actually here, this left lane. Okay, let me get these out. So every machine gets 1. Everybody gets 1. Ain't that right, Spider-Man? Actually, do I care this much? No, never mind. Alright, now our slow belts. Connect these individually. Right, fast belts in groups of 4. Now let's get these programmed. So our right will be any, our front will be overflow. Actually, this one doesn't matter, and I probably even could tidy these up. Just actually, let's do that. This is the place to do it if you're going to do it anywhere. So, not that. Not that. Actually, that doesn't matter. Okay. Take our Mark IIIs. And we'll get these done nice and pretty. Now, set our smart splitters. So the right side goes any, and the front port goes overflow. Left goes none. Copy you. Pasting, pasting. Alright. Painting orange. Alright. Clear out these. These will serve their role now. Let's fix that missing tile here. It just came to mind, and I keep forgetting about it. Alright, let's get our floor holes in place. More temporaries. Let's do this. That's going to come out interesting. That'll be fine, though. Oh, right. Yeah, alright. It doesn't matter. Alright. Let's get him. Do we want it like this? I do think so, yes. Okay, floor holes. Is that in the line? It is. Distortion messes with me every time. Okay, fast lifts. And I don't have them on the right spots. Why would I? Oh, that one was. Eh. Dull. Okay. Now, fast lifts. And which way do I want these rotated? It really doesn't matter. That's fine that way. Now, this one's a little different because he's straddling the seam here. He'll have to be reconnected afterward. I want to try and do this in a way so at least everything's uniform, even if he's not fully connected, which means I need to do something like this. Stick one thing here, right on the tippity edgety. Yep. Okay, take you out. Now I can take this, attach him to that, rotate him this way, and we'll take that pull out of there like that. Okay. What did I do? What? I deleted something, didn't I? I hate it when that happens. I thought I was deleting one thing. The thing I expected to be deleting did not disappear. Oh, a cable. Is that what it is? Oh, these are extra. Doesn't matter. Okay. I am trying to keep this roll in some manner here, folks. Alright, let's get this guy, get you placed. Okay. And now water holes. So put this on these inside lanes. And so now when I bring everything up, they're nicely spaced, not jammed up right against each other, you know, awkwardly. And I do that to myself quite frequently, and it was good this time I thought about it at the right time to get these placed out nicely. And we'll do our load balancing for the water underneath afterward. Nope, that does not go there. When we're out in the field, we'll do distribution then. That'll be fine. Okay, let's get our pipes horizontal and vertical. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking ahead, and I'm realizing I've just set myself up for another little conundrum. You know, Satisfactory is great. It's ultimately, it's a puzzle game. Excuse me. if I sound like I'm talking funny sometimes, it's because I have a chipped molar and I keep biting the back of my tongue, and it kind of it makes me a little crazy. Really, why did those put the indicators on but not these? Are they laid out differently? I did. They're not. Aha. Okay. I am not going to freak out about that. That's fine. They're a tiny bit out of alignment. I'll live. Will I? Oh, I'm really not that kind of guy. I'm not. Wait, no, he's sitting right. He's not. These aren't the ones. These are the ones not sitting right. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not jamming up at all. Let me clean up these things. These are on extraneous now. Okay. So let's paint these bits. Alrighty. So now we're going to need to bring the coal through here. And now, because I've repurposed this, I didn't leave myself a lot of room to work here. But it's okay. I'm okay. I'm alright. I can deal with this. This is fine. This is fine. How many do I need? 1,872 coal. So what's 872 divided by 780? 2.4. So we'll divide those out into 4 belts. But the way I've done this now... Okay. So, yeah, our load balancing for the coal is going to be occurring underneath the floor then. Alright. And how many coal per? 117. So we will use Mark II belts and lifts for our inputs on these. Let me get these here. And if this looks strange, it'll make sense in a moment. What happened here? My computer likes to change gears on me rapidly and without warning, and I get these like moments where, you know, the frames don't update at one moment and then they update all at once, and then I'm suddenly facing a direction I was not expecting. Does anybody feel like buying me a new computer? Sponsor? All right. Alright, floor holes. I really should save these. I've altered them quite a bit now, and don't necessarily want to lose this. I don't know why. It's just a dumb brain thing. I mean, I'll do it. It doesn't bother me that much, really, but I get really funny about dropping a save, like, in the middle of doing a piece of something. Alright, let me get these saved. So it's going to be Allentown. This is going to be Loom Solution and Scrap. Okay. So my wiring is at a weird angle. You know, so, and I don't even... I changed the orientation for the blueprints, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have to follow it that way. When I deploy it, doesn't matter. Moving on. Mark II lifts. Okay. Undersides now. Let's see. So we're going to do 4 groups of 4. Which direction am I going to bring this from? It won't matter. We can make it do anything we want once we're out there. So, how high do I want these right now? Okay. All right. I think I know what I'm doing. All right. Let's do this. Let's get some Mark IIs on here. What I've found, just want to talk about this really quickly here, leaving myself 8 meters of for a logistics floor, it breaks down very neatly, vertically speaking, to, I think of them as in terms of high, medium, and low. High, medium, and low. As far as the vertical orientation for belts or pipes. You could kind of sort of squeeze in more if you needed to. It just starts getting ugly, but you can basically, stack 3, from, one item being directly to the floor, to a second being 2 meters up, to a third being the 6th meter up. And they break down very nicely that way. And that's really about the limit. You can stack things about 3 high in here. So these are on the medium height. So continue this. Okay, now let's get some smart splitters. And we're going to break these down into groups of 4. And there's definite spacing I use for these to keep things nice and tidy. It allows me to make nice little bends when I need to. Let me get these decked out. I will rip out the extras momentarily. I'm just putting these in. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and a gap because he won't need a splitter. And we'll go from this way, continuing. Or do I want... Alright, let me think about that. Alright, let me take out these extras. Let's get Mark IIs. Because these may look connected, and sometimes they will auto-connect. Other times they do not. It really depends on how closely you're putting them. These do not, where I have them spaced right now, so I got to put belts in. Alright, and the main reason why I choose this kind of spacing, where there's just this ever so slightly tiny little bit of gap there, and you do need to belt it, is so that if I take my Mark IIs again, and I come out of here, and I snap to this one, it makes a nice 90-degree bend with no effort. Let me get those in place. Okay, and the Mark V's down the rest of the line. Oh, wait, yeah, no, never mind. I was thinking of rotating these. It's not important, though. Do I... I do. I can't help it. I'm really not a perfectionist, but it's like, if I'm gonna take the time to do these nicely, let me do them nicely. I mean, so what I'm doing, let me do this again. I'm just gonna rotate so the first splitters in the chains, the input will be coming this way. And that way I can run belts through along one side here and then just like feed them off straight into this instead of having to try like bend things into place. I'm not sure I'm explaining myself well. In fact, I am sure I'm not explaining myself well. It will make sense later. Okay, reconnecting those Mark IIs. And now Mark V's down the rest of the lines. Program these so these ones at the head, because they're rotated slightly differently than their successors. Any port is going to the front on this one, and overflow is to the right. None is to the, or excuse me, overflow is to the left. None is to the right. Let's copy and paste this one for each of these line starters. Okay. And for the remainder, because the traffic's going this way, the any is going to go to the right and overflow to the front. Copying and pasting. Where am I? What did I do? Oh. You know, they gave you the control. Oops. See, I did. Oh, did I just blow one out? I did, didn't I? Yep. Yep. Nope. Yes. No, I did. I blew out the setting. All right. Oh, God, dude. What I was trying to say was they give you the Control C, Control V, which is great, but when you Control C, it drops you down because C is also the direction for down. I'd like it if you were holding Control and to C, that it didn't treat that as the down motion. That aside, now pasting and leaving the ends. I didn't ruin you, did I? I did not. Good. Autosave, of course. How many can I paste? Nope, not that many. Okay, so we will worry about the individual connections for the coal. Actually, I need to paint that. And I'll use kind of charcoal. It's not quite black. I also use this for steel and oil. And again, it's just context based. Alright, let's paint the uppers. And let's paint our pipes pale gray for alumina. Alrighty. Now, if I were smart... Okay. Let's save. Alrighty. So. Alright. Here's my little conundrum for the moment. The puzzles we make for ourselves. So. We're going to be bringing water in for the alumina solution, but we're also going to be producing water as a byproduct, and we will be recycling that water. Managing that flow is a trick. It's not that big a thing. Most of you, I'm sure, already get it, but, you know, not everybody will, so I'll go through it. Now... How many... Let me think. I'm sorry, bear with me. So 195 water per minute. So I could do them in threes, but they don't divide out nicely. Alright, so we're going to do these in 8 groups of 2. Alright, sorry, I got distracted there. One of my pipes wasn't painted correctly, and no, that doesn't matter. Anyways, let's see. Alright, so let's do this. Let's start with our water holes. I'm going to put these in the lane close to the edge, round by the corner. Okay, let's get our pipes to send this water down using horizontal to vertical. All right, down. Oh man, this all gonna line up? Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna work. All right. I haven't done one quite like this in. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, he said. So let me get some ceiling mounts going here. Just a few, let's just start that. Oh, is this going to work? Wait, let me think. Hold on. I'm not... Is that really the way I want to do this? Bear with me, folks. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Take you. Do that. Put a junction. Quite like that. Not quite like that. Okay, that's fine. Oh, how am I gonna do this? I'm trying to come up with a nice method that looks good, meshes together correctly. Junctions, they only give you an X and Y coordinate, or an X and Y axes for, 2 axes. It's relative, for your junctions, and I need one that goes 3, but it's not part of the game. What if Yes, I think this is it. This is... Alright. So, alright. Here's what I did. Ceiling base mount. Let's start it to here. Wait, where am I? That little frame jump again. Okay, take a pipe there. Ceiling mount here-ish. Part of the problem is doing this on the underneath of the frames. You lose out on places you can place a mount. Okay, so that's actually got to come out and go down to here. You go here. You go here. Now we put a junction here. A pipe there. And then we'll take this. Let's see. What do you think? Basically just going to do the same thing in the opposite direction then, I guess, huh? Let me get these laid out. Okay, so one goes here. Wait, I goofed. What did I do? I skipped one. Alright, let me duplicate this over here. Alright, let's start getting these connected here like this. We'll just do the basic piping for now, and then we'll do the junctions in a moment. Alright, let's get the junctions in place. Alright, let's get these all connected together. Alright, now we're going to run them down this way. Is this close enough to do this with one? It is nice. I hate having to put up tons of redundant mounts. And everything is threading through like I meant it to happen that way. Sometimes even a blind squirrel finds the occasional nut. Alright. Now, we need valves. Valves. Let's, Yep. Right there will be fine. Squish it in. Okay, we only need them on this end. They must point that direction, though. Take dice. And go. Other way. Okay, so what this gives us now is, so we'll be bringing the water up. Our water feeds will connect into these pipes. Now I'm debating if I want... Oh, how can I even do this right now, even temporarily? What'll happen, and I think we might do the finishing part on when we're out putting this out in the field. We'll bring water in. We'll pipe it in from one direction or another. Another valve will have to go onto the input pipe. And so here's what happens. So we've got them connected. Our alumina solution refineries are connected together in pairs, right? Okay. Each one takes 195 water, right? So if we take 195 times, type that. I did not. I have to look while I'm here. 195 times 2 is 390, right? Okay. So that should have been obvious, but just for the sake. And now the thing is, so now these refineries are having byproduct of 117. So if we go back to this, actually we're gonna, oops, try that again. So if we take the 195 times 2 and we put that in parentheses, right? And we're gonna minus the 117 times 2 because we've got these bundled up. And so basically what that means is if we, counting the byproduct, and we directly put that right back into the other pair, we only need 156 water shipped in per pair. So what we do is when we're finally connecting these to water inputs out in the field, we have to make sure we put a valve on here and restrict the flow to 166. If you don't do that and you're trying to recycle that, you run the risk. And I've had mixed results. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to happen every time, but it's just a way to make absolutely sure you're not pumping in too much water and it prevents you from using all your byproduct and keeping it from backflowing into the machine and causing a stall on that end. So I'll have to make a note for myself. 156 is our limiter amount. Okay, so that's the hard part of our water piping. Let's save that before I crash again. All right, now, final stage. Final stage. Aluminum scrap. How many are we making again? 56 are going to go into 60. All right, so divide that by 8. Does that look like per belt then? 702. Perfect. All right, so, all right, here's what we do. Temporary foundations. And I'm going to do this a little differently here. Just a shade. Let's get our mergers on the correct toolbar, thank you. And he's going to come out this way. Let's bring him out a notch. Yeah, so they're not fighting for space with the pipes. And I'm just going to do this in a way so there's a little symmetry going on here. Alright, how many scrap are we outputting? 351 per. So we need a Mark IV belt as a slow belt, which is not terribly slow, but it's, again, all for the purpose of smoothing that flow. And even that little bit of difference does do the trick. And let's take out our temporary foundations. Paint. Oh, how'd I miss you? I know how I missed you. I'm a space shot. At least I know why now. Alrighty. I'm going to save this in just a moment, but there we have it. Okay, so here are now 2 pods. We have the alumina solution on one row, feeding directly into machine to machine to the alumina scrap pod up at the front. And These we will worry about our final output belts at a later moment when we're have learned which ultimate direction we're going to go. These now, however, are definitely kind of locked in place. They must get joints together here. I can rotate that, however, in whatever direction I need to. Yeah. All right, so that's that part. It was a little gummier than I thought that was going to be. Not bad in the long run. No, that's fine. Yeah, so there you have it. That's what a total shift in plans looks like halfway through a build. Much better, in my opinion, to do that in the blueprint than out on a real build out there. Trying to do this without mods, oh my god, I'd never. No, it's in fact, the reason why my original builds, from the first episode looked the way they did is because I wasn't using mods, and doing everything individually was very, very tedious. Yes, no, give me my mods. Thank you very much. All right, folks, thank you again for joining me. This is going to do this one for now. We will do the Foundries next episode, and that's the last part of this set. Now, that's just to create the aluminum ingots. We'll worry about the individual items we're going to produce afterward, and there's going to be a little math game in there. Fun. Anyways, again, thank you again for joining me. I hope you found something helpful. I hope you enjoyed this episode and my flibberty-gibbeting around. So, as always, until next time, stay healthy. Take care out there.